everybody. My name is Olavi. I'm the CEO of ArrayFi, and I'm located in Dubai for the last 3 years. And I'll give you a very quick introduction of our presentation, but it starts with that. So ArrayFi, what we're doing and what we're developing and the launch is a more secure hybrid algorithm stablecoin system. So stablecoin, I believe everybody in this room knows what it's about, but it's about cryptocurrency designed to maintain a stable value, typically engaged as a stable asset or a currency, to be able to do transactions, transfers, etc. And what we have seen in the last couple of years, where there has been a lot of uptake, where this is very important to accept from the trading and the transfers, is in the migrant and immigration communities globally, because they utilize this on a daily basis for their needs, not for speculations, and therefore stablecoins have become a very precious point for them to be able to secure most of their assets. So obviously this has been created and becoming a very big marketplace. Pain points in the current scenarios in the past has always been the trust and transparency and the stability of the collateral assets behind the stablecoin and the execution risks. Obviously the advantages that we have said is the financial inclusion, that you now moving over borders, cross-border payments, etc., at ease, at speed, and without having any problems like when it's an eruption in a country or there is something going on, where you with traditional assets cannot really move them, but this way you can move them with ease. So the merge of ArrayFi. ArrayFi is an hybrid algorithm stablecoin system designed specifically the advantages of high capital efficiency offered by algorithm stablecoins while also supporting real-world assets, RWAs. And we see this as a very important part for the future with the credibility of this stablecoin system. The protocol boasts especially low capital cost and high degree of volatility resistance with our USSG DR, serving as the stable and efficient stablecoin. So it's a dual tokenomics that we have actually created. And obviously the use of USDR is the trading, the payments and lending and micro payments, because we see this as the biggest hurdle, especially in emerging nations, because when you come into the end point where you actually want to execute and utilize them, micro payments must be quick and there must be very efficient in the cost products. So the core components of ArrayFi is the following. We have the ARA token, that is the SIG token, and then we have the USDR, that is then the primary currency unit for the ecosystem. So we have in the ARA token a governance token, meaning that the community will decide the future development of the projects, how it's going to lead for the future. We then combine that with actually RWAs, real value assets, in this case, for example, the ArrayCoin, minting a 4-to-1 ratio USDR that is then utilized for the transactions. And at the same time, during the staking and the collateralization of the real-world assets, gives other yield points specifically for the user. And obviously, is the mainstream tokens, is the other token. So what it does is gives physical assets with algorithm of a stablecoin mixed into collaterals that is going to be the future we see when it comes to stablecoin and how digitization of real value assets will become in the future. And that gives, with the dual tokenomics, the stability and the trustworthiness in the whole ecosystem. It gives, obviously, with staking up to 36% in the yield. It's dynamic collateral with algorithm on assets and a stable ratio 4-to-1, 400%, guaranteeing that is always going to be stability in the whole system. So enhancing the capital efficiency, speed, and process and cost factors in the ArrayFi ecosystem with the dynamic collateral ratio, mixed collaterals, and other mechanisms gives the highest stability. We have in the ArrayFi ecosystem the minting and the smart contracts the following parts. The meeting of the USSR, the regime of the ARA token, the governance of the voting and the predominance of future developments, dynamic collaboration management that always automatically does this 24/7, the risk management to make sure that it's under no threats and volatility, and the income distribution in the whole ecosystem. So it gives us the cross-chain capability and interoperability. And this is why it's so important for the future, because we're going to go from different kind of ecosystems, and the possibility then to be able to trade and connect overall these systems is the most important in the future. So, meeting a redemption mechanism is what we have. We have the ARA token, and once the user exchange sufficient amount of USDR, the system will unlock the corresponding quantity of the ARA token and return it to the user. As I said, ratio 4:1, 2 ARA to USDR. So in the staking process, this is very important in the sense of having a very supportive mechanism for stability. The collateralization ratios dynamically adjust based on market conditions and system requirements, meaning that when there is an uptake, it will automatically making sure that it's done on a relevant, secure base, and same in downfall, making sure that there is not what we have the volatility with other cryptocurrencies. And the USDR to be then utilized in transactions, payments, and storage in the all ecosystems. The advantages: compatible with multiple collateral assets, the real value of wealth assets around the world, meaning, for example, you're taking real estate or you're taking other assets, combining them with ArrayFi to be able to mint and then have that as your own in the project as your collaterals. It's high stability, it's governed by the community, meaning that the future development is done by the community, making sure that the right development for the right reasons are being done, and the multi-chain interoperability. Uses cases in DeFi, payment settlements, liquidity provision, yield farming, sales and lending, specifically in payments and settlements, payment system for cross-border payments, micropayments that we focus very heavily on, and cross-chain transactions, and cross-chain liquidity, cross-chain lending. So the roadmap is near term. What we just discussed is to further build on our ecosystem, build the growth of our ecosystem, build further on protocol upgrades and community governance. And for the long term is to build the cross-chain interoperability and ecosystem expansion globally. That's why we gone to Korea, we are in Southeast Asia and the MENA region, and expanding into Africa and Latin America. One of our partners that we see very important is UnPay in Southeast Asia, because they working with cross-border payments and transactions in Southeast Asia between Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, China, and Thailand, Malaysia. And we are utilizing a lot of data from the migrant community and migrant workers, where the efficiency, speed, and cost is one of the most important factors, because the money they're sending back home is their livelihood, and that cannot be taken away. And that's it. Thank you so much.